Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. Now you might be thinking, Clarkson, what are you doing talking about some German car company on a channel about business? Well, you see, my dear viewers, Audi isn't just some car company, it's a bloody institution. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of Audi, strapping ourselves in for a high-speed history lesson. We'll be exploring the twists, the turns, and the turbocharged tales that have made this brand the powerhouse it is today. So, buckle up, grab a cuppa, or a pint, I don't judge, and get ready to discover 15 things you didn't know about this iconic brand. Every good story starts with a name, and Audi's is a bit of a humdinger. You see, it all began with a chap named August Horch. Now, Horch, he loved making cars, but he had a bit of a falling out with his business partners. Legal battles ensued, names were thrown about like confetti at a wedding, and poor Horch found himself in a right pickle. Couldn't use his own name for his new car company, could he? Now, any other bloke might have chucked a wobbly and opened a chip shop, but not Horch.
He knew what he had to do. He translated his name, Horch, which means listen in German, into Latin. And thus, Audi was born.
Right then, let's talk about that logo, shall we? Those four interlocking rings aren't just there for decoration, you know. They tell a story of mergers, acquisitions, and enough corporate maneuvering to make a Wall Street banker blush. Picture this: 1932, Germany. The Great Depression is in full swing and the car industry is feeling the pinch. Four companies, Audi, DKW, Horch, and Wanderer, decide to band together like a pack of wolves in a blizzard. They form a new company, Auto Union, and those four rings, they represent each one of those brave automotive pioneers. Strength in numbers, eh? Now, every prodigy needs a mentor, and August Horch had a blinder. Before he was off building his own automotive empire, he learned the ropes from the granddaddy of them all, Karl Benz. Yes, Karl Benz, the bloke who basically invented the modern car. Imagine young Horch, eager as a beaver in a lumberyard, soaking up all that knowledge.
So Karl, about this internal combustion engine.
Talk about an education. It's no wonder Horch went on to achieve such great things. Audi likes to boast about being the first to conduct crash tests.
Back in 1938, they chucked a poor, unsuspecting DKW, remember those four rings, off a ramp to see what would happen. Can you imagine the scene? A bunch of blokes in lab coats, clipboards in hand, standing on a hillside, watching a car plummet to its doom.
Health and safety regulations weren't quite what they are today, were they? Still, you've got to admire their dedication. They were basically the automotive equivalent of those mad scientists who strapped themselves to rockets.
Now, we all know Audi makes a nice motor, but some of their creations are more exclusive than a May and Hammond Christmas party. I'm talking about the 2003 Audi Le Mans concept. A car so expensive it makes a Bugatti Veyron look like a used Fiat Panda.
$5 million, my friends. What did you get for your money? A sleek, futuristic supercar that looked like it was beamed down from a spaceship.
Sadly, they only ever made one. Still, it inspired the Audi R8, which is no slouch in the looks department.
Speaking of rare birds, let's talk about the Auto Union Type D. This beast wasn't just a car, it was a legend on four wheels.
Back in the 1930s, it ruled the racetrack. A silver bullet driven by some of the bravest chaps to ever don a racing helmet. They only ever built 5 of them. And guess what? Audi still owns 3. Talk about keeping it in the family.
The other 2? Well, they're locked away in private collections, probably being polished with unicorn tears and guarded by trained attack hamsters. If you ever see one in the wild, do let me know.
Now, any petrolhead worth their salt knows about the 24 hours of Le Mans. It's the most grueling, most demanding, most exhilarating race on the planet. And Audi, my friends, have conquered it. Not once, not twice, but 13 times.
Only Porsche has more victories, the smug devils. But fear not, Audi's coming for them like a cheetah chasing a gazelle. One day, my friends, one day.
We take it for granted now, but there was a time when driving on the left side of the car wasn't the norm. Shocking, I know. But back in the 1920s, it was a bit of a free-for-all. Some cars had the steering wheel on the left, some on the right. It was utter chaos, like a game of bumper cars in a pub car park.
Then along came Audi with the Type K, the first production car to say, right, enough of this nonsense. We're putting the steering wheel on the left and that's the end of it. And you know what? It caught on. Soon everyone was doing it, from BMW to Mercedes.
World War II. Not exactly a great time for anyone, was it? And the car industry took a right kicking. Audi, unfortunately, wasn't spared. Their factories were dismantled and shipped off to Russia as part of war reparations.
But what do the good people at Audi do? Do they give up? Do they say, right, that's it, I'm off to open a schnitzel stand? No, sir, they pack up their slide rules, head west, and start all over again. Talk about resilience. It's enough to bring a tear to a glass eye. 1980, the dawn of a new decade. And what better way to celebrate than with a revolutionary new all-wheel drive system?
I'm talking, of course, about Quattro. Now, before Quattro, all-wheel drive was about as common as a vegetarian at a sausage fest. It was seen as something for tractors and tanks, not for sleek, sporty saloons. But Audi, in their infinite wisdom, saw the potential. And boy, did it pay off.
The Audi R8, a supercar for the modern age, a symphony of engineering excellence, a testament to German precision.
It's also a right pain in the backside to put together, apparently. You see, not just anyone can build an R8. Oh no, that's far too important a job for your average spanner wielder. Only the most experienced, the most skilled, the most highly trained technicians are allowed anywhere near it.
These are the silver liners, the elite of the Audi workforce, the Jedi masters of the production line. They say these silver liners can hear an R8 engine purr from a mile away. Ah, the 1980s. Big hair, shoulder pads, and a little program called 60 Minutes.
Now, 60 Minutes had a bit of a reputation for, shall we say, hard-hitting journalism. They were like a dog with a bone, if that bone was a juicy corporate scandal. And in 1986, they sank their teeth into Audi.
They ran a report claiming that the Audi 5000 was prone to sudden acceleration, sending it hurtling into walls and small children. It took years, countless lawsuits, and a whole lot of groveling for Audi to recover from the damage. Now, you wouldn't normally associate a German car company with an American baseball team, would you? It's like finding a vegan at a hot dog eating contest.
But Audi, ever the innovator, decided to break the mold. They partnered with the New York Yankees, one of the most famous baseball teams on the planet.
They even have their own Audi Yankees club at Yankee Stadium. Imagine that, sipping champagne and nibbling canapes while watching a bunch of blokes whack a ball around a field. Remember when taillights were just, well, lights? Red circles at the back of your car that told people you were slowing down? Boring.
Thankfully, Audi decided to spice things up a bit with their OLED taillight technology. Now, I'm not an engineer, but apparently these OLEDs are all the rage.
They're brighter, more efficient, and you can make them do all sorts of fancy things. Like what, you ask?
Well, they can change shape for starters, and they can display different patterns and animations.
Audi's ambitions know no bounds. Not content with conquering the automotive world, they've set their sights on something a bit more, shall we say, out there.
They want to go to the moon. Yes, you heard me right, the moon. They've teamed up with a bunch of scientists and engineers, probably the same blokes who designed the Quattro system after a few pints down the pub, to build a lunar rover.
If they pull it off, it'll be one giant leap for Audi kind. So there you have it, 15 things you probably didn't know about Audi. From humble beginnings to lunar ambitions, this company has done it all. They've overcome adversity, embraced innovation, and given us some of the most exciting cars ever to grace the tarmac. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating insights into the world of business and innovation. Until next time, drive safe, drive responsibly, and for heaven's sake, avoid those potholes.